What's up, YouTube? Drew here, and you're with me in my garage with this beautiful 1989 Toyota Camry. It is a Lumiere G turbo diesel. If you know JDMs, which I hope you do, because this is certainly not anything like a Tourer V Chaser or a Crown Majesta or anything like that. But this car absolutely deserves some serious respect. This was even rare in Japan. So a Camry Lumiere G, that's G like a Royal Saloon G, fully loaded, turbo diesel, just insanely rare. It's a 2CT turbo diesel, and it has what I think is a problem. So when I first got it, I want to drive the crap out of it. It's a fun JDM. It rides really cool. It's just got this 80s vibe to it. But I kept getting like almost rear-ended. And I'm like, what's the deal? It doesn't have a high stoplight. It just has these back two like on the sides. So what I've done, and pardon the mess in my garage, I bought just a generic stoplight and some maroon paint and hit it with some light coats. It's not going to look perfect, and I'm not going crazy with fabrication. It's just, a commuting kind of car that's cooler. So what I did, this top piece here pops out with clips like a modern Toyota, and this back piece, let me zoom out for you here, pops out with clips like a modern Toyota. So I'm just going to run a wire from one of the stoplights, not not a tail light, not one that's always on. That gizmo I showed you can be wired both ways. It's going to be wired like the ugly JDM brush. It's a feather duster. It's a common thing to find in a JDM. Super high quality leather. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to run a wire up there, and I'm just going to use some clear double-sided tape to stick that guy right in the middle here, and it will light up super bright when I hit the brakes, hopefully stopping the people behind me from typing the novel they are typing into social media, further becoming addicted to what other people think of them or whatever they're doing, and maybe not rear-end me and my kids. So anyway, just gonna do that and show you guys what I go through. I doubt there's anybody out there that's gonna use this information to to work on their car, because how many 1989 Camry Lumiere turbo diesels are out there? Like probably one. But, it's just kind of something you should think about if you have a car without a high stoplight. And I know you guys, at least speaking of the subscribers, thank you guys so much for being subscribed. And if you're not, consider subscribing. You like all my JDM shenanigans. This was just one of those things where I was like, I was actually looking for a 1997 Camry station wagon. We didn't get that in the United States, but they did in Japan. And I thought, well, that'd be a good daily driver for a while. The title comes, put it for sale, and a postal worker would be super blessed to have a Camry that fits all their stuff, but, is as reliable as a Camry. So, and when I, searched for Camry, I saw this, and I was like, wait, what? Diesel? So I had to have it. So if you like those shenanigans, don't forget to subscribe, because I actually just bought another one last night, a 40,000 kilometer Crown Royal Saloon G. That is effectively the lowest Crown we'll ever have in stock, I assume. So be sure to subscribe if you want to check that out, and if you want to see more about this car. Just going to show you guys what I do to get this done and the end result. All right, I got my wires soldered, because you only get to pry plastic that's 35 years old so many times before it explodes, and you're not getting extra pieces for this car. So I'm just going to tape those up and get this fixed to the window. I think it's a pretty good match color-wise, and we'll go from there. All right, I think that looks pretty darn good. I mean, obviously it doesn't look stock. I don't care. It looks better than, me and my kids, headed to the hospital by ambulance because this little 2,500-pound car gets rear-ended, right? So definitely something you should do on any car that doesn't have it. I'd put one in my 50 Chevy, same style. It's designed to be mounted on a flat surface, not against a windshield. I use clear tape on this. I wish I did on my Chevy. You can't even see the tape. And I believe that's Gorilla Tape. That should hold up. If for any reason it doesn't, I very simply am just going to make a clip and use the stronger adhesive up in there to hold it against the window, but I don't want it to rattle, so I'd have to use clear tape as well, and the clear tape would, even if it doesn't stick to the glass, would keep it from making a rattling sound. So now I'm just going to tuck the wiring, and the reason I soldered that, by the way, is because it's narrow and or thin, and it'll fit in there. I wrapped the positive very good and then just went around the negative once, because I'm sure you guys know a 12-volt car electrical system, any negative that touches metal, that's a ground. That's a good thing. I mean, in an old car, newer cars are much more complicated than that. But yeah, just going to get this all tucked in and then wired into the taillights. That was actually extremely unpleasant, but I'm happy with the result. I guess I could have gone a little higher on the window with the with the actual light assembly there, but it is what it is. Just don't want to get rear-ended. So the wires behind this was not very forgiving. It's very tight in there. And then this, very hard to get back on, again, because this is harder plastic than modern cars and it's 35 years old. But I came in there with the wire and then down to behind here. And then very simply just gonna go behind this and there will be connection to the lights. All right, so now using a pedal depressor, I was able to figure out that it's in fact that bulb in the back, which has two different, you see the green with the orange, the green with the white. Obviously the white with the black is the ground. But you know, one of the two green wires is one that lights up when you press the brake, and the other one is the one that lights up when the taillights are on. So the way to do this is either measure for voltage, you know, with the bulb out of the socket with the brake depressed, or the brake not depressed and the taillights on, you know, the headlights with the taillights on, and the one that doesn't have voltage is obviously the brake in that case. So easy peasy. All right, so that is how you do it. So my takeaway, I'm not exactly thrilled with how it points up. I mean, this is a pretty low car, so somebody behind me, I mean, their head's not going to be any lower than like this, and they could still see it. But I think it'd be, I mean, if you look at how much brighter it is like that, I think it'd be a lot more effective if it was, you know, perpendicular to the ground, if you will. So what I think I'm going to do is make a bracket that I can probably use small machine screws to actually go into the body of the car, because up there there's like, it's like a double piece of metal, as long as they're short and they don't come up through the top. But I think I'm going to make a bracket, but for now, I mean, that's definitely, here, I'll kill the lights, and that's quite obviously much, much, much better. So, you know, without that, the average driver nowadays got their license after those, you know, became mandatory, I think in the late 70s in the United States. So there's obviously people around driving, you know, that grew up before that, including, you know, my own mom and grandmother. But nevertheless, American roads haven't seen cars without these in a really long time. And with all the texting and driving and all that crap, just want to be seen. So anyways, hopefully you guys thought this was entertaining. You know, I don't know, it's a pretty simple job, but tearing into a JDM and figuring out the wiring and all that stuff was fun. So, you know, I entertained myself. I guess if I entertain you, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. And if you like JDM stuff, subscribe to the channel, because we do a lot of that. All right, God bless. Bye.